Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter 15, that is water, a precious resource. Students, we have learned about the importance of water in our previous classes, and we know that water is an important natural resource and one of our basic needs. Almost every living organism needs water to survive. We need water to drink, to cook food, to wash our clothes, and for many other activities. Water is essential for carrying out digestion, absorption, transportation, and excretion of various substances in our body also. And it is also used for generation of electricity. Industries, agricultural activities require water for their smooth functioning. Not only humans and animals, but plants also need water to prepare their food. You know that. They also cannot survive without water. So, we can define water as a natural resource that is vital for both plants and animals. Now, let's discuss uh, uh, existence of water on Earth. Students, you know that water is very important for us. You must have seen advertisement on TV and in newspaper in which you are advised to save water. Sometimes schools also organize save water campaign to spread the message of saving water in the society. Now look at the picture, a pie diagram here. It shows that there is 71% of Earth's surface is covered with water, and it is for this reason generally Earth looks like blue when we seen from uh, space. About 97.5% of the available water is present in seas and ocean. That is salty water, so it cannot be used for drinking. Of the remaining 2.5 per 2.5 0.7% is found in frozen foam in glaciers or in ice caps, and only 0.3% of fresh water is available in the form of rivers, as lakes and as groundwater or streams that is fit for human consumption. So, from the above data, we can now understand that very little water is available for human consumption. Forms of water or states of water. You have learnt that water on earth exists in three states, that is solid, liquid and gases. In solid state, water exists as snow, frost, and in liquid state water exists as we normally see it at room temperature in lakes and ponds, and in gaseous state water exists as vapor or steam. Now it is important to note that the molecules of water are same in all the three states, but the intermolecular space changes with the changes in state. All the three states of water can be converted into one another by changing the temperature. For example, when water freezes, it converted into ice, and it will remain liquid between 0 degree to 100 degree Celsius, and it changes to steam at 100 degree Celsius. When liquid is heated, it changes into water vapor, and this process of changing water into water vapor is called vaporization. And when water is cooled, it forms ice, and this process of formation of ice from liquid water is called freezing. Ice on heating melts down to form water, and this process of changing ice into water is called melting. Similarly, water vapors on cooling forms water, and this process is known as condensation. Transpiration, we have learned about the transpiration. It is the loss of water through water vapors is called transpiration. And both these processes, they are necessary in water cycle. Water circulate in atmosphere through the water cycle, and it maintains the amount of water on the earth. And the continuous circulation of water from the earth to the atmosphere and back again to the earth is called water cycle. This is water cycle. The heat of the sun warms up the water in the rivers, lakes and oceans, etc. And due to heating, water changes into water vapors. These were water vapors, they are light in weight, they rises high up in the air and cools down to form water tiny droplets of water, and this process is called condensation. This process is known as condensation. And tiny droplets of water stick together to form clouds. When the clouds become heavy with lots of water, they come down as rain. They come down as rain. And the process of falling down of rain is called precipitation. It is called precipitation. And this precipitation falls on the ground in oceans and rivers, from where it again vaporized by the sun's heat, and the entire process is repeated in nature. Uses of water, we know that the uses of water can be broadly divided into agricultural, domestic and industrial uses. About 70% of water is used in industries, 22% is used in industrial needs, and remaining 8% water is used for domestic purpose. So water is, we know that 97.5% is present in seas and ocean, but this water is not fit for consumption because many salts are present in this water that make it saline, and it is not fit for consumption. And only 2.5%, out of which 0.8% is groundwater and 1.7% is present in the form of ice caps and glacier, which is known as a fresh water, which is fit for drinking. Water management, it is very important to understand water management. We know that water is very precious for us, and it is a precious natural resource and need to be conserved. And the only method to save water is to conserve it and avoid its wastage. The day 22nd March is celebrated every year as World Water Day to draw the attention of people toward the importance of conservation of water. And we can save water by doing the following step. Close the running tap when not in use. Get leaking tap repaired as quickly as possible. More dams and reservoirs should be constructed to collect flood water that can be used later. And wastewater left after washing clothes can be used for washing vehicle and for construction purposes. And there is a general consensus that for satisfying individual personal and domestic need, such as drinking, washing, cooking and maintaining proper hygiene, water requirement is about 50 liters per capita per day on per person. So the today world is heading toward the water crisis. According to a recent United Nations report, the supply of clean and fresh water is depleting in such an alarming rate that some region within 30 years about two-thirds of population will suffer a moderate severe water crisis. The scarcity of water can be overcome by the proper management of available water, which help in the conservation of water and minimize its wastage. So we have to take some steps for the better water management. Farmer should prefer, or they should encourage, drip irrigation. Rainwater harvesting is the best method, or it is a boon to the areas where the water scarcity is very common. And many place in India an old practice of water storage and water recharge, like the Bawris. They are the traditional way of collecting water. So we have to store water in Bawris. And rainwater harvesting, which is again a boon to areas where the water scarcity is very common. Due to the increase in population, there are water crises. So on one way of increasing the availability of water to overcome its shortage is rainwater harvesting. The process of collecting rainwaters from roofs and street corners, and storing it for later use is called rainwater harvesting. We have learned about the water harvesting in our previous class also. And in this method, water is collected in percolation pit and recharge well, so as to recharge groundwater. And this is an ideal solution to water problem in areas with inadequate water resources. And its advantage are: the water table can be increased by rainwater harvesting, it reduces the runoff loss of rainwater, availability of water supply for irrigation and other purposes is also maintained in dry months like June and July, that are very hot months. It reduces flood and topsoil erosion, and it reduces strain on other modes of water supply. It increases the availability of clean water. So conservation of water can also be done by, just we have discussed, reuse of water, revival of the Bawris, dams, construction of the dam. We know that an artificial wall built across a river which allows the water to collect behind in a reservoir is known as a dam. And a system of artificial canals channelize water from the reservoir to the region downstream for irrigation. And rainwater or river water can be prevented from flowing away by constructing dam. The dams control floods, provide water for irrigation. Industries solve drinking water problems, especially during summer season, and they are also used for generation of electricity. And by preventing the water pollution, we are actually conserving the water. So we have to save the water from being polluted. Drip irrigation is also a very good method for to save the water. Plants need sufficient water to grow, and plants absorb water through their roots. Drip irrigation is a technique of watering plant by making use of a system of narrow pipes like tube. You can see here that there are narrow pipe like tubes. There are narrow pipe like tubes. These are narrow pipe like tubes. With small holes which deliver the water drop by drop directly around the roots. And thus the wastage of water is avoided, and this system allows the farmer to produce a high yield with very little water. So we should adopt this irrigation technique so that the water wastage should be minimized. So there is a home assignment for you, and the topic wastewater story or wastewater management we will discuss in our next video. Thank you.